Today we're going to explain the differences between the original F801, which was launched in September 2018, and the F803, which was launched as a replacement in July 2021. Okay, so there's about 3 or 4 differences I want to show you. So come in closer, John, and we'll show you. The first major difference, and you'll see this, is the charge dock. So the F801 had a charge dock. So you got your 2 contact points, and it would sit on the charge dock, and then you'd plug that into the wall, and then you'd get the charge through there. The F803 has done away with the dock, the charge dock, but it's still a storage dock. It no longer requires you to line up anything. It just sits there, and then you just plug in the power into just above the battery. Okay, so it's a little bit easier. A lot of people gave us that feedback, a little bit easier to charge. The other major difference is the wastewater tank. Okay, so the 801 has the electronic sensors, and it has gold stem sensors here on the stem. Over time, what would happen is they get a little bit dirty and they would give off a false signal. So Hizero has changed it to a float system, similar to what you have in the petrol tank of your car. As the float goes up, it'll give you the signal, empty the tank. Okay, so that's easier to maintain, less work there. So put these back in, and I'll show you another major difference on the 2 machines. Let me just take this off the charge dock. I'll move this out of the way. Now, when I tip it on its side, I'll take out the hard waste tray, tip it on its side. Now, the other major difference you'll notice is the sink grate, which is an important part of the Hizero. Now, some of you, the 2018, 2019 models will have a hook. The hook is what you use to remove the metal grate. So put that in there, and then you just pull the grate out. Now, if you've got a hook model, then you've got one of the first models. That's a 2018, mid-2019, before they changed it. For those of you who purchased after July 2019, you will have what we call the green filter. So let me just put that back in, and I'll show you what I mean. That sits in there. Okay. Now, the green filter is up here. Now, you take that off, create a hole, and then you just take that out with the brush. Now, that's from about July 2019 onwards, we switched to this system. But you'll notice is the sink grate has no markings on it. Some of you may have markings that we'll put on later, and the holes are slightly bigger. So I'm going to move this to the side and show you the difference between this and the 803. Slide it over here. Now, the 803 improvement, there's 2 improvements. 1, the sink grate has smaller holes, and 2, it's much easier to get in and out. So I take that out, tip it onto its side, come in closer, John, and we'll have a look. I take the green filter out, push the button, and have a look at those holes. Much smaller. I'm going to take that out. So here's your sink grate for your 803. Your 803 has arrows also, which shows you how to put it back in when you take it out, because you know, we can't all remember the instructions, I understand that. So they've put in arrows here. That sits inside there, and line the arrows up. See how the arrows are lined up? That's how you put the sink grate in on the 803, okay? Now, what I want to do is put the 803 sink grate together with the 801 sink grate. John, so just hold on. Let me take the 801 one out, and I'll compare the 2. Now, 803 is on my left, 801 is on my right. See the holes? This has much bigger holes, so it would let some debris in and sometimes cause a blockage internally. The 803 holes are much smaller, so less debris gets in. It's a bit like the strainer in your sink, in your kitchen sink at home. Stops the debris getting into the piping system to create blockages. So this system is better at reducing the chance of blockage than this one here, okay? And then you've got various other improvements which have occurred naturally. So they've upgraded the brush roller motor, the cleaning roller motor, the electronics, and the way it's assembled. So the F803 has a lot of engineering improvements, okay? Obviously, it's an evolution. The F801 was launched in September 2018. We're now in, what are we now? June 2022. And obviously, there's been a lot of improvements along the way. So if you'd like to do a trade-in, the F801 can be traded in on an F803. You'll get a $300 rebate. It's all explained online, or give us a call, or talk to our live chat team. Whatever you prefer, we're here to help.